Hey guys, stick around. I got 3 tips that just might help you become a better beekeeper. One might even save your life. Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Tim. Welcome back to another episode of the Boone County Beekeeper. Now today is Thursday. It is April the 20th, and it's about 7:20 in the evening. I just got done mowing grass, so I'm burning up. It's about 88 degrees here today. Been absolutely beautiful weather. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I've been on here. I did actually film a video last week, but I had this camera here so messed up, the sound and the video. I didn't release it. It's pretty bad, so I didn't. Still trying to learn this camera and this microphone. Hopefully this one's better. Reason I'm coming to you today and not this weekend is it's going to start raining tomorrow. And it looks like we're going to have a wash out here coming up this week. Now, I will say this. I caught a swarm. I caught a swarm on the 16th, which was last Sunday. For me, now that's the earliest I've ever caught a swarm. And it's usually about the end of this month or the first week in May whenever I catch one. But like I told you before, I think everything's running a little bit earlier. So that's about 2 weeks ahead of schedule for me. I am seeing some other scout activity at some of the traps that I've got hung out. And you'll go one day, there'll be bees everywhere. You go back the next day, nothing. It's crazy. But I want to show you something, guys. Now, where did I catch this swarm? I want to show you. Look here. You see my old barn right there? That power pole behind that barn? That's where I caught the swarm. I mean, it's right here in my backyard, and I live in town. It's crazy. Nobody around here has bees. One guy a couple miles back over that way, he has bees, but I don't know. I've always seen bees down here. My neighbor actually come over. He's got a tree out in the front yard that was bloomed out real good, and he said, man, bees was eating him up. And I said, well, okay. I hung this swarm trap out here. Week or two later, had a swarm in it. Crazy. So I'm going to take them up Saturday morning. I'm going to get up before daylight. I'm going to go out here and get them off this pole. It's going to be raining, so can't do anything else. I'm going to put them in this benefit bee, guys. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try it, and it'll probably next week. I'm going to let them fly a few days. They're already bringing in pollen, but we'll see what it does. But that's not why I'm on here. I want to show you something. I got thinking about this thing right here, and I was wondering how in this world am I going to treat this thing with oxalic acid. You know, this LorobBee, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. This LorobBee here, it gets up to 400 degrees, and you know, I don't know how to do this. I definitely don't want to melt the plastic, so I didn't know. So I seen Bruce Jenny, he had something he'd got off of Rob there with LorobBee. And I don't think they make it anymore for the Apimaye. It's a plate. And so I've got a good buddy, and he is a great buddy. He can make anything. He could probably weld 2 sticks together. I mean, he's good. He can make anything. So I described to him what I was wanting, and I told him that I wanted this plate built. As you can see, here it is. He took it and we measured it, and we he made a channel. Look what a weld. He made a channel down through here, and we drilled this hole. Is it going to work? I don't know, guys, but we're going to try it. I'm going to try it right here before I take it up and get the bees in it. So hang on. So as you can see, it slides right in. Slides right in there. I'm hoping that it will work. My buddy that has the Apimaye, he looked at it, he liked it. He wants to borrow it, and let him borrow this thing and try it. And so hopefully it'll work on the Apimaye. It may be something that you want to look at. I got on LorobBees website something very similar. They don't make them anymore. They was going to come out with something new, but I haven't seen anything on there yet. So we'll see. So we'll let this thing here, it's up now. All right, guys, what we're gonna do, it's up to temperature. I tried it there, but where the whole top and everything was open, oh, I could smell it, but you couldn't really see it. So I put the lid on it, and we'll turn these vents around here. And I've got the front closed off with some rags. We'll see what it does. Now, I do definitely need to get me some new oxalic acid. And I do see one problem I'll show you. But we'll let it get back up and we'll see if we see any vapors coming out. So give me just a minute. One problem I do see, my hole is just a little bit too big, and I can't turn it loose. And that's okay. I mean, I usually have a respirator on. I see some vapors coming out. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. Yes, I do. I see some vapors coming out. That's good. I think this thing's going to work. Give me just a minute, guys. Let this get up, and then we'll pull the top off of it and see if we can tell anything. I was just so afraid that it would melt that plastic, and I didn't want to do that for sure. All right, so we're up to temperature. Let's take this off. It looks like it had a pretty good burn. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but oh yeah, it's definitely coming out. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I can see where it's come up and it's coated at white. Boy, that stuff takes my breath. I should have my respirator on, but I don't. All right, so we'll try it out. We'll try it. Oh yeah, smell it. We'll try it this summer and also this winter. See how it works. I still see some coming out of the hole right here. So I definitely need to get some more oxalic acid. That's pretty old stuff there. I don't know what the shelf life of that stuff is. Stick around, guys. I want to go over a couple other things with you. Okay, guys, I'm back. Something else I wanted to talk to you about, and that was this. Record keeping. You know, I think that record keeping is very, very important, especially if you've got, 2 or 3 hives or more. In fact, the more that you have, the more handy that it is. Now, us guys that's on YouTube, we kind of have an advantage, and why I say that, and you could do the same thing, is, we have a lot of our inspections filmed, and there've been a lot of times, maybe that I was thinking about something and I had a question, and I went back and I looked at that video, and I could pull up that footage, and that helped me a lot. But even with that, even with the videos, I still keep records, and I do. And what I do is, even on my swarm traps here, I have the dates that I hung all my swarm traps. I have them numbered, as I showed you, and I have, what did I use, whether it be Swarm Commander, Swarm Rustler, whatever that might be. And the only one I didn't have on here is the one that I hung here in my backyard, and that's the one that caught. So, but anytime I do an inspection, I will get in here and I'll write down how much brood, that I had, whether I saw eggs, larvae, whatever, just any kind of pertinent information. And splits, now that I have everything numbered, I know that this colony right here, I took this many frames out. I put it over here. So I know that this queen come from this colony. It's just some good information. Now, another thing that is really, really, for me, and I'm kind of a nerd about this, blooms. I actually keep a different book, a smaller book, and I keep that in my dinner bucket. And when I see something that has bloomed, whatever, this year, autumn olive, when I see the first blooms on autumn olive, I would write that down on that date. Same way, with whatever, tulip, poplar, black locust, red bud, whatever. And I go and I compare that. I do that every year. And I compare that to the year before. Now this year, I'll say it's out the window because nothing is like it was the past couple of years. Everything's way ahead, but it's still good information. That gives you an idea. If you are a week or two ahead, hey, we know that tulip poplar is coming up here right away. We know that black locust is coming up here right away. And then we know that after that, we'll have the sumac, we'll have basswood, and will give us a good general idea of when we should have these supers on. But record keeping is very key. I really honestly believe it. I think it's very important. I do. Now, something else I want to talk to you about. And I know this is a crazy video, but I want to put something out here because it's going to rain all weekend. I'm not going to be able to get in my bees. But now here's another thing. This is very important. Me, I'm lucky. I'm not really allergic to anything bad. Now, I've got seasonal allergies. I think everybody does. Spring, fall, I get the watery eyes, I get the runny nose, and everything's in bloom and the pollen. My truck looks terrible, pollen all over the hood. It's crazy, but it tears me up. But now listen, here's what I want to say. I never was allergic to anything big. I grew up all my life taking penicillin. We had a doctor, and it was when I was, it was a long time ago when I grew up, but penicillin's what he gave you. He had a shot for everything, and it was a penicillin shot. And when I hit 40, for whatever reason, I became allergic to penicillin. That quick. Never had any trouble before. That quick, I become allergic. Now, something clicked in my head. I was watching Lee, Kodiak Farm. Ricky Rourke and his wife Ruth was down there. And I don't know if you saw the video. If you didn't, you need to check it out. But she was filming. She got stung somewhere in the top of the head. Now, this woman's been stung a lot, and her throat started swelling up. They had to get her to the emergency room. So that got me to thinking, between that and the penicillin, where my bee yard is at, well, let's be honest, I live here in West Virginia. I have no cell service. I am 30 minutes away from the nearest hospital, doctor, anything. Yeah, now my dad, he lives 5 minutes down the road. But here's my question. So I'm up there usually 90% of the time. I'm there most of the time by myself. And what if something was to happen that I did get stung? And I get stung often. You see that on my videos. But what would happen if the one did sting me and I had an allergic reaction? I've thought about that, and it's bothered me. It really has. So I'm going to tell you what I did, and you can do the same. My family doctor, he knows that I'm a beekeeper. I've given him honey in the past. Great guy. I called him, and I had to leave a message. You talk to his nurse, so I left a message. And I explained my situation. And I wanted to know, was there any way that he could call me in an EpiPen? And you know what? He did. So guys, from now on, I'm going to have this in my pocket of my bee suit. I think it's very important. You know, anything could happen. We see it and hear about it all the time. I don't want to be that guy that it happens to. I don't want you to be that person that it happens to. So if it's something you know that you think is a possibility for you, our body changes as we get older. It does. Talk to your family doctor. Tell them what you do if they don't know. Explain, you're worried about that, and see if they'll give you an EpiPen. I got the generic. You know what this cost me? I've got pretty well. Insurance is fair. I'll put it that way. But $5. I mean, come on. There's 2 in here, and he gave me a refill in 1 year. So it gave me a little peace of mind, is what it did. So now that's where we're at. Now, all right. So I'm off my soapbox. That's what I wanted to do here today. Wanted to try this out. I think it's going to work. I really do. Couldn't really see a lot of vapor. I could see where it was. Boy, I could smell it. So I think a lot of it is my oxalic acid is old. We'll try this again when we get some good fresh. We'll try it on the bees. We'll experiment with it. I think it'll work. Okay, that record keeping EpiPen. That's the 3 things. Now, let me tell you about what happened last week. I did a video. I went ahead and edited the video and put it out there. Then I took it off. It was just the quality was so bad. Still learning, how to fool with this camera. Still learning about the microphone. I hope that I sound okay. Last week was way too loud. I mean, it would bust your eardrums to hear me talk. So I'm hoping today sounds better. I want to tell you about our bees. I got in the one that we follow all the time. I had 1 cell in there. I took that cell out. It was almost halfway. It was a decent looking cell. I got that out of there. I made a split. Now, I will say this about the splits. The 5 frame splits, the 4 frame splits that I made, they look great. I snuck and looked. We had cells in there. So they hopefully should be a virgin queen running around there in the next day or 2. The little 3 framer, it didn't make it. And I'll be honest, I never have luck with those 2 and 3 framers. For whatever reason, they just don't want to perform for me and build cells. So what I did this time, I took that cell out and I put over into one of those 3 framers with another few more shakes of bees. Now, hopefully, we'll see what happens. They'll make it. It was already almost capped, so that gives them a jump start. Now, the one in the middle, the one that I thought for sure was going to swarm on me, I'm pretty sure that it swarmed. Bee numbers was way down. The hive looked a whole lot better. It was cleaned up. All that drone brood was gone. Still had cells, capped cells. Did not see a queen. Did not see any fresh eggs. I think they've swarmed. So if they haven't, they're going to, because I'll tell you what I did. I took out some cells and I put into a 3 framer. I found 2 real pretty cells and I left it in there. We'll just let nature take its course. We'll see what happens. So my main objective last Saturday was this. That hive on the end that the cemetery swarm that I caught last year, she was a great queen. Really strong last year. Bees were really gentle, real gentle. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to go ahead and just split them. They seem to be way behind. So I got in there, and the name of the video was Plans Change, because when I got on there, it was absolutely loaded. I mean, she had laid eggs in every cell, cap brood. It's crazy. That thing's getting ready to explode, and it's going to explode right about the right time when the tulip popper starts coming in. So I just put it back together. No cells. Bees still gentle. Just put it back together. Now I do want to requeen that hive, and I'll do that after the flow is what we'll do. As soon as the tulip popper is over, here at the end of May, we'll requeen. We'll make some splits and we'll requeen. So that's where we're at this week. We're going to go up Saturday, like I said, Saturday morning. We'll take this swarm up, open them up. It's going to be raining. We'll just let them fly for a few days. And then we'll go up one day early next week. Going to be in the 60s, sunny for like 2 or 3 days. We'll go ahead, we'll transfer them into this box right here. I'm anxious to see what happens. Hopefully by that time, maybe we'll have another bite or two on some swarms. I think next week and the week after will be a good time for the swarm. That's usually the weeks that I catch them. So guys, I know that's about all that I have. If you got any suggestions on this thing here, let me know. When I get some better oxalic acid, we'll try it. I know that it did take my breath, so definitely getting some fumes. We'll see what happens. I'll get some fresh. We'll treat our bees. We'll see what happens. I'm going to treat with Apigard this year as well. Last year we did Apivar. We'll try Apigard this year. So guys, that is about it. This is Tim. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, and thank you for subscribing. All the wonderful comments, man, I know I say it every week. Appreciate it, I do, from the bottom of my heart, guys. It really means a lot. I love talking to you guys, I really do. And great advice, I thank you, because I'm still learning, you know. So just have a good week. God bless you, God bless your family, God bless your bees. I hope that everybody in your family's well. I hope you have a wonderful week. Guys, just be careful. Get out there, getting them bees. Make sure they're not getting ready to swarm on you. It's time. You know, the honey's getting ready to kick in here, and it's going to be a good year, I do believe. I will say this, we had a box of honey on 2 of those colonies, so should be capping. They was already starting to cap. I like to get those things capped and spinned and put back on before the poplar takes off. Now, will we? I don't know. Hopefully they'll get in there and cap it, so we'll see. So guys, take care. This is Tim, the Boone County Beekeeper. Thanks for stopping by.